you're in business, you're a businessman now. There's two mindsets that I really want to drill into you, and not enough people talk about this in my opinion. One is going to be an Arabic saying, and these concepts actually go hand in hand. The Arabic saying goes like this: Al-kaslan yat'ab marratain, meaning the lazy person will suffer twice, or he'll be exhausted twice. And this has to do with cutting corners. And the next one is, don't be cheap. Go for the quality. The examples I'll give you is when I was first starting out inside of the Bukhur business a few years back, and we had an option of buying a shelving unit that would showcase or store my Bukhur and perfumes on it. And when I got that shelving, I chose the cheaper option. When I got it back to the house where I started off, I said to myself, I don't have that many products, and in my head, I didn't think I was gonna grow that much, right? I didn't have that much confidence in myself. I said, yeah, this is probably just a hobby, it won't go anywhere. And I chose the cheaper option. So, I was cheap on the goods for my business. And then, when I was installing the shelving unit, it said that we were supposed to put a brace on top of the shelving unit and like drill it into the wall. That way it stays sturdy and it doesn't move around. I was lazy, right? I chose not to do that because I said it's a shelving unit. I've never seen a shelving unit fall, it won't fall. And I chose to be lazy and not drill that shelving unit to the wall. What happened as I started to grow and I started to stack more and more things onto the shelving unit became wobbly. It wasn't as sturdy, it wasn't as strong, and I started to acquire thousands of dollars worth of inventory on the shelf. What happened? It shook, wobbled, and it pulled away from the wall, tipping over, and I end up damaging hundreds of dollars worth of inventory because I chose to save a couple dollars on the shelving unit, one, and two, I chose to be lazy and not drill two simple screws onto the top of that shelving unit and screwing it into the wall. So, do not be lazy, do not cut corners, and make sure you invest in the quality stuff. That's why commercial equipment is always more expensive than residential equipment, right? If you choose to buy a stove, the stove for the house will be a lot more expensive than the stove for a restaurant. Quality is different, so make sure you don't skimp out on the quality stuff. Do not be cheap on yourself, do not be cheap on your store or on your business or whatever the business is, right? Make sure you dish out that extra couple bucks and get the quality stuff. And make sure you don't cut corners. Do not be lazy. Al-kaslan yat'ab marratain. The lazy person will suffer twice. What ended up happening with me? I end up suffering more than twice. I lost inventory that I had to replace. I got a damaged shelf that I had to go and replace. I ended up buying more. I ended up spending more money on the more expensive shelf that I should have got. If I just bought it right the first time, I would have spent maybe an extra $50 to $100. But because this happened, I had to buy the whole shelving unit for about what? $300-400, right? When I could have just done that the first time and saved. Now I bought the shelving unit twice, and I lost inventory, and for what, right? I lost time because I chose to be lazy and I chose to be cheap. You're in business now. You're a businessman or a businesswoman, and make sure you keep your mindset that way. Make sure that you invest in the quality stuff and make sure you go the extra mile to make sure you secure your future. If I just did that simple task of screwing the shelving unit to the wall, I would have secured my future and secured my inventory. But because I didn't do so, I lost out. Lesson learned. From then on, I chose to choose quality and I chose to go the extra mile and make sure that in my business, I will always dot my I's and cross my T's.